After catching up with the Viper Aethelward Roan, the party was able to make a deal wherein they would be transported, along with the gravely injured Kai, safely back to the Ironwood Company's fort in exchange for some hefty concessions on Aethelward's part. We go there now, in the dead of night, as a sudden snap and a crackle sound outside the fort's gates. The crew members who survived from the time that the party shipwrecked there alert Captain Areus and Iris, who arrived just in time to see just over a dozen of Aethelward's soldiers, Aethelward himself, and the party pop into existence just outside the fort's gates. Areus is the first to call down and say, "I recognize some of your faces there, but the rest of ye, friend or foe?"
Stay your hand, Ares. We have come to talk.
"Hoist it up, lads!" And the gate will open. As the lot of you are marched into the courtyard, Iris looks none too pleased, and especially as her eyes fall upon the limp form of Kayako, hoisted up between Brad and Kel, missing a leg, of course. And she'll just say, "God damn it, what has happened here?"
This one saw fit to relieve Kai of one of her legs, pointing to Aethelward.
She'll just stare daggers at Aethelward and his forces that have just been let into the keep that greatly outnumber and outgun the survivors of the crash. And she looks at you, Finn, who deigned to speak.
Ruh-roh.
And she says, "Do you care, Phineas, to explain yourself a little bit about the current predicament?"
It is no predicament. We must simply converse a little bit with Aethelward, and you will see from there. Please.
And what of Kayako?
Brad has done his best. She will live, presumably, but needs rest.
No, she will not. She will die here. She needs to be returned to Vranos.
Now. This does take Finn a little bit off guard. He was expecting that they could at least keep her here to recover.
She may last the night, but past that it is dim at chances. She will fare better in the company's care.
Finn looks at Brad, kind of judging for his opinion.
What is Bread's medical opinion here, Ryan? Is Iris correct?
You have no facilities here. There's, no provisions, no anything.
He will nod, looking to Finn, and say, "I have the skill, but I don't have the equipment."
Bring her inside there and set her on the table or such. We'll look into that quickly. As for this one, I assume you are not here of your own accord. You are coerced, yes? That is the only possible explanation I can conceive.
Iris, I believe the mission was to bring him back to talk with him.
Yes, bring him back to question. And not along with a dozen or two of his well-armed soldiers.
The problem will resolve itself once we have time to talk, as I said.
The time is now. Bring Kai inside and we will talk.
And Finn just nods his head and is going to start walking.
She'll turn and head inside if everyone will follow.
I'm assuming Kel and Bread shuffle off kind of awkwardly, carrying Kai in between them.
For sure.
You're able to set Kai down on a table in this main hall next to the wounded that are still recovering from Captain Areus' crew. Most of Aethelward's soldiers remain outside, but a few will take up perimeter positions in this main hall as everyone settles into the middle here. Iris will just throw another glare at Finn and say, "Care to explain then your asinine deal you struck? Or whatever bargain you have made to make sure that he arrives here not in shackles?"
I believe that the word can explain himself the particulars, but suffice it to say, it grants us a lead on Coco.
Is that so? I will assist in your endeavor to finding Coco Silkweather, on the conditions that me and mine are allowed to persist on Viridian without the Ironwood Company's interference henceforth. That is not a bargain I can strike so easily. Well, the price is the life of that one. And he'll point to Kayako. Iris just bites her lip, looking between the lot of you, and she says, "Very well. Whatever deal it is that you have hashed out between the lot of you, the Ironwood Company will honor for the time being. However, she'll examine Kai a little closer, looking at her leg, looking everything over, feeling her breath, her heart. In truth, it is best probably that She is returned tonight. Good, damn it all, you. Very well. As I said, then I will honor this deal. No strings attached. No strings attached. It will use up the rest of my void color in order to transport her back. And I'm sorry, she looks at the rest of the group, but it will only be Kai and myself.
No matter. We have business in Aiden Selk regardless.
She'll glance at Aethelward. Then you will give up one of your own, That is your provision here? You will give up this Coco? He'll just laugh a little, shaking his head. No, not entirely. You see, Coco and I were on a very similar mission. We split from the Vipers around the same time, before things got too intense against your lot. We each had a score to settle with Marika Tetsunto, and one that she'd wronged. This night, our plan went into action, and Marika was either to be killed or captured, and her prisoner set free. I had hoped it would be me that would set this prisoner free, but no, it was Marika that I was landed with. The task of killing her remains mine. That means Coco is now embroiled with the prisoner, and you lot will assist her in retrieving said prisoner.
And who exactly is this prisoner?
Someone who can stop a war from happening.
Finn kind of looks at Iris's face just to see if there's any sense of, recognition to what this could be alluding to, like some war.
Iris rolls her eyes and says, "How unhelpful and vague."
Rich coming from her.
If that is all, then I will allow this detour for now, provided that at the end of this stint, Coco is delivered to the Ironwood Company as agreed upon originally in your contract. She'll look at the wolves. Aethelward just shrugs, says, "So long as I am not a part of it." No honor among snakes, after all. Very well. Then I bid you all good night, and all the best. And she'll lay her hand on Kai, and in a second, before anyone can even really react or so much as blink, they'll just pop, fizz, and they're gone.
Ooh, she mad.
She's always mad. I don't even care.
She's mad, but she's still hiding shit from us. And she's leaving us without answers when we ask her direct questions and then getting mad at us when we do things she doesn't like. She can suck it.
As soon as she is gone, Sarako will let out a big sigh and then wipe his brow. You do not know the weight that has just been lifted off my shoulders.
Aethelward will actually laugh out loud and say, "I can only imagine." However, I will say this. When you come to that point, that our agreement has reached its end and you are once more beholden to Gaumont and his gang, reconsider your position on Coco Silkweather. I guarantee you she will not come quietly. No, she's never quiet to begin with, but she will not let you take her alive. Strike a deal with her. She is an amiable soul, agreeable, and I'm sure you may have something she desires by that time. If not, then best of luck, for you'll never see head nor tail of her again.
So what are your plans? Are you staying here or are you leaving?
My void collar needs time to replenish its strength. I will leave on the morrow. Continue my pursuit of Marika. It was foolhardy to attack her caravan, but it weakened her nevertheless. Regardless, I know where she's going. She is not long for this world.
Are you able to tell us exactly who Marika is, or is that a state secret too?
I don't figure she's anything more than you figured her for. She's a criminal, an arms dealer, and a slave trader. Someone that seeks to gain from a conflict that has yet to blossom, and she's working hard to make sure it does.
That would explain the large void machine monster that we see under her estate. Everything makes sense now. She prepared for big war.
Oh, do not mistake her. She is merely a courier. Those are not her designs. Those are not even hers to deploy. There are many more monstrosities that await you, my friends.
Well, I look forward to going to meet them completely unprepared then, thank you.
Should I prepare you? Probably. But no matter what I say, no matter what I tell you, it will not help any.
Why is that, exactly? Everybody seems to think that we're, incapable of comprehending the truth.
Not so much that you are incapable of comprehension, boy, but one such as myself doubts what you will do with it upon learning it. Even so, I cannot impart to you the full truth, for I do not know it. As I said, I split from the Vipers before their plan came to full fruition. I was not party to the entirety of its being, only up until the portion that I chose to leave. But I've told you all I know so far. We sought to derail a conflict before it became something greater. There is an evil here, burgeoning. I am not sure when it will rear its face. I have not yet seen it. I'll say this. Coco stuck around a spell longer than I did. She may know something more than this, should you be able to coax out of her.
I have just one last question for you.
Make it quick. I want to retire.
Very well. Between whom would this war take place?
I could not say. Its players are not known to me.
But the war happened here, on Viridian or on Vrenaros? Will you say evil burgeon here on Viridian, so probably here?
I imagine, my boy, it will take with it the entire world.
Okay, it's a big war. Thank you, Aethelward, for your assistance.
Me and mine will make camp outside your fort to give you some semblance of peace of mind. I'll be gone at first light, and you will be there, so I can send you to Aiden Selk. And he'll turn, and he'll stand, and he'll go. Y'all got the night.
Is anyone in this room, after they clear out, were there any other of the people from the fort with us in that room?
Yeah, there are the wounded still from Arias' crew, and as everyone settles back from this heightened state after your appearance, more of Arias' men will come back inside and settle down.
Well, I don't know about any of you, but I am famished. And he's just gonna go look for something to eat and sit down on one of the tables next to probably a table that an injured person is laying on and just eating next to them.
Brett is going to busy himself with the wounded and the injured, and that includes the party. If they have wounds that need to be treated, that is what Brett is doing.
Finn does.
Yeah, Finn needs a lot of help.
Arnor, question for you. Did you not say you wanted Aethelward to tell you all he know about your crest?
Yes, what about it?
Well, I'm not sure if you notice, but Aethelward is not exactly, as you say, chit-chatty. He not like to talk to us, but maybe he talk with you. I don't know. But if you have question, I not know about this crest, but I could extend to you my services and the reach of House Castellan and do some research, see what I can dig up on the subject.
If you would put out some feelers, that would be acceptable.
I do that. But right now, like Finn, I am famished. So, I go find something to eat. So, Sarako will go and he will find whatever there is. And he's going to sit down, right next to Finn. The injured person's hand is right where his plate would go, so he'll, pick it up and put it on the guy's body. Finn, he says kind of quietly.
Real quick question. Is Finn back to his normal state due to being drained, essentially, for the Void Caller?
You are not a monster.
Sweet.
Your battery was used.
Yay, my Void battery. Finn just kind of looks up and cocks half an eyebrow at Sorako.
I have a question for you, or rather, I have proposal for you, but... And Sarako looks around. Can anybody hear him? Is anybody nearby?
The injured person?
But I think perhaps a proposal is better in a more private setting. So maybe later, after we finish eating, conversating with everyone, you come by my room and we talk about potential for next boar hunt. Wink.
Wink, he says aloud.
You understand what I mean?
Finn is deliberately chewing whatever it was he's eating for a long time, and then when he finishes, he kind of looks back up at Sorako. After how our last boar hunt went, Sorako, You really think this wise?
I think is extra wise, especially considering the last boar hunt. Finn, I do not know if you know. I'm not talking about a boar hunt. Meet me in my room later. I speak to you about something very important I don't want others to hear about. Okay, very good. Goodbye, Finn. And Sarako will get up and walk away.
Okay. Finn doesn't even spare a second glance.
I was gonna say, as people are like leaving the room, maybe that's when Bread can like give them a once-over examination type thing. So if Sirako's heading out, does Bread want to attend?
Is Sirako injured? Yes, he is.
He's got 3 wounds.
You know what? You don't even have to roll because of your surgeon thing. You would get these successes regardless. So
Okay, sweet.
you patch him up, do what little you can as he heads out of the main hall.
And very briefly, as he leaves after being patched up, he'll look at Bread and he'll say, "We talk later." And then he just leaves.
Yeah, Brett is not going to respond to that. In the vain hope that maybe it won't happen if he doesn't say anything. Okay, I guess I'll deal with Finn next because he's the most injured.
It'll be 2 difficulty.
1 success, 4 advantage.
All right, that means you can heal 5 wounds.
Hot dog!
No. 4, because you're surgeon 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 wounds.
And then I'll probably stick with Finn overnight to apothecary that.
Do you want to get rid of his critical injuries as well?
Yeah, I'll do the criticals next. I'm just stating, like, I would like to continue to care for Finn until he is as good as he possibly can be.
Bowled over is a 2, stunned is 1. So 1 difficulty and 2 difficulty, Laurel. Those will be 2 separate checks.
Okay, here's the 2 difficulty.
Hot
dang.
3 triumph?
Holy crap!
Yeah. 3 success, 3 triumph, 1 threat.
I think he's healed.
Enter Kermit.
Thank you, Dr. Kermit.
Can that just take both my injuries?
You know what? Yeah, with 3 triumphs, let's just have Finn be fully healed and no injuries.
Yay! He's also no longer an addict. JK. Nothing can cure that.
You're like patching him up and you just like crack his neck back into place and like realign him and he loses all back pain that he's had.
And that like he's in a great mood the rest of the show. Like that's the only reason he was kind of grumpy was that back pain.
He's been a grouch because he has perpetual back pain.
His back pain, he just has chronic pain this whole time.
Yep.
Well, Finn's looking hot as a hot dog, so I guess I'll move on. Kai is gone. Is Arnor around to be healed or no?
After getting something to eat, he is going to go catch Sirako and ask him a question.
Okay, I'll just heal you before you go. How much for Arnor? 1, 2?
1. If it's less than half, it'll be 1. If it's more than half, it'll be 2.
5 success, 4 advantage.
That's all your wounds.
Get set to 0, baby. And then I'll do Kel, because Brett is always lost. 2 success, 3 advantage, 1 triumph. So I assume Kel is back to 0 as well.
Yes.
And then for healing myself, it's harder, right?
Yeah, you add 2 to the difficulty. And yours is going to be just 1.
So it's 3 difficulty.
1 initially, so yeah, 3 difficulty.
Is Brett confident in his abilities at this point to roll well again? I'll flip a story point just to hedge my bets here. Oh boy. 5 success, 2 threat, 1 triumph.
You're fine.
Brett is on one right now. Brett got chastised by the great beyond and said, you know what? I'm a great doctor, actually.
You know what? F you.
All right, how's the rest of the night play out? As everyone's gone off now.
Brett has no intention of talking to anyone unless someone talks to him. It is to his benefit that no one talks to him, so he is just going to mind his business.
Well then, as Red will say is the last one to kind of pack up and leave the main hall, making for whatever room you can claim as your own, you actually hear a voice go, "Red, is it?"
He will turn, looking for whoever this is.
Aiden comes up out of the castle cellar where presumably he'd been staying. Everyone else seems to be asleep, and he says, "I heard some commotion about..."
Hi, there was, to sum up, we brought Aethelward Roan back here to talk to Iris, and, Kai was severely injured and taken back to Venaros.
I wish I knew who either of those people were.
It's to your benefit that you don't actually consider yourself lucky.
Aha! No doubt. I wanted to ask, seeing as you inquired before about my doctoring, you yourself, you're a plague doctor, no?
Aye, that's correct.
I just wanted to ask, specifically though, what was going on with, that. And he points to your... How do you try to hide your arm?
No, not at all.
Well, he points it out.
Brett will glance at it as if having forgotten what it looks like, kind of thing. You know, when someone like compliments you and like, oh, I like your shirt, and then you look at your shirt because you don't remember what you're wearing. It's one of those moments. What do you want to know?
I'd like to know what caused it.
The Hollow-In caused it.
Are you quite sure about that?
Do you think you know something more than I do?
I'm not saying I do, I'm just saying, have you seen other plague symptoms, survivors? Have you seen other plague survivors with something similar?
I mean, the answer to that is definitely no. But I'm trying to think if Brett was gonna lie about that. It's not a common side effect, no.
All I'm saying is, I saw something like that. It was after, Lyra and... Sorry, you know her, Kel. You know her as Kel. After her and I split up, I guess we're split up by our government, sent different places for disparate years. Someone was brought in to my lab with a very similar affliction, I'll say. But it was about a good bit more of their body than just their arm. So much so that what they used to be was gone, I'd say. Unrecognizable. I couldn't tell you whether they were human or kin or sanguine or such or something less or more.
What did it look like?
It looked like that, Brad. And he points to your arm.
What did the rest of them look like?
Like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Can you describe it? Can you draw it?
I'm not that great with a pen, no. But, it was humanoid. Still, a bit. But its legs were bowed. As if it walked on one less knuckle. Joint and such. Imagine a dog or a horse. And, well, its face was not like anything I'd ever seen. I can't say what it was exactly. Its eyes were sunken and multiplied. Its teeth were rearranged and reformed into these things. Like, not so much like mandibles, you see, but just as if the teeth themselves were on the ends of fingers protruding from its mouth.
That is so gross. That's the scariest thing you've ever described, Ryan. Sorry, is that the end of his description?
Yeah, for now. He seems to get a little lost and then just shakes himself out of it and says, I'm like I said, nothing I'd ever seen.
No, I dare say not. Did you learn anything from studying it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't there for this. It took me a good while after to figure out what had gone down, but word was that it wasn't quite dead. It killed, couldn't even say how many. Made a right mess of things, and, well, I was only there for the aftermath, and by that point it was naught but ash.
Do you have any idea where it came from? Is there any possibility it could have been one of your researchers?
I don't know, Brad, but I know it wasn't the Hollowing.
Well, neither's this.
He just gives you like a wide-eyed stare and sorry, clears his throat and then points toward the stairs. I should head up, hit the bed, and he'll clear out.
Brett is going to find a place for himself to be ostensibly alone. He's going to assume that someone will probably bother him at some point, but he would like to examine his own arm again, probably for the 1000th time at this point. But with this new information in mind, he is on a mission.
Sarako will go and knock on the door to Finn's room. Is Finn in there?
Yes, and you just hear him from inside. He doesn't come to open the door. He just says, yes.
Sarako will go ahead and push the door open if it's not locked.
It's locked.
He's such an asshole.
Finn?
No, it's you. And you kind of hear that grumbling, and then a few footsteps shuffle, and then you hear like the click, 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 click as like several locks undo themselves. And because remember, he's up in like the topmost room where they had found the trap set by Aethelward. And yeah, he opens the door a crack to see you.
I had the sneaking suspicion that you were not coming to see me, so I take the initiative and come to see you. Finn. I know you are tired, and I also know you are 75? So you need a rest, but I also know your mind is as sharp as a razor sword. So, can you make a device that, when you go Monster Man and Iris come by or Aethelward come by and they do magic and you are no longer Monster Man, I assume they have some way to draw the void out of you. Is this correct?
The Void Caller, yes.
Okay. Is it possible to make such a device that could nullify the effects of void? Just in case you or any of the others of this group, who I do not mention by name, need help. Perhaps maybe you lose control, or perhaps maybe you are consumed by void. It's possible to make a device that could halt void and make it so the void magic does not happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Void, like all matter, cannot simply be dissipated. It must be redirected, either into a containment vessel, such as a Void Caller or Void Cell, or into raw, unleashed void, which is rather destructive. It may not pose the same intent as the original wielder desired, but it can be, so to say, redirected. I presume you are intending for me to make something of the former nature.
Preferably the former, but if you could make one of both, that would be even better. To be honest, Finn, if it came to it, knowing the power which you possess, which Iris possesses, the power which we both know Bread possesses, is not much I can do about that. So maybe I am walking around one day and one of you think it's good idea to use a void and I am caught in the crossfire. I cannot use void, I cannot redirect or absorb or any of these things. So, for my own protection and for the protection of yourself, I think it's a good idea to make something for those of us who cannot use void so that we are not dead at the drop of a hat.
You start to see the, clicking gears of Finn's mind start. They get revving up. And he kind of, he turns away from you a little bit and he walks over to his desk and he starts flipping open a notebook and kind of scratching down some things.
Also, I think I have something that may be a little extra motivation for you. And he'll reach into his pocket and he'll pull out the little bit of black sap that he got from the docks. Now, I think you'll find this very compelling. As he slides it onto the desk into your field of view as you're scratching away on your notebook.
As soon as you bring it into his field of view, you notice there's kind of a pause in his writing rhythm, but then he kind of keeps on going. Consider it done. I think what you say is not unwise for the members of this group to have a way to at least survive a little longer in the face of a void wielder. But I will admit, I have toyed with these devices before. The success rate is temperamental. You can never be entirely certain the magnitude of exactly one's use of void when it is aimed directly at you.
I understand. I use only as tool, not as ultimate fail-safe. I understand it have risk, but to me, the risk is acceptable. Thank you, Finn. And if ever there is something that you require of me or of House Castellan, I am at your service. And with that, he will give an overly flowery bow, and he'll walk out of the room and close the door behind him.
As you're just about at the door, you do hear Finn's voice. You still hear kind of the scratching of his pen, but he just says, Sorako, and the pen stops. Do you want to perhaps go in on a joint venture of sorts?
I am listening.
Suffice it to say, we will perhaps need some of those presumably large resources you continually speak about House Castellan, he says in his terrible recreation. But the land of Viridian is ripe with void, untapped potential. Things that someone in your position could do very well, perhaps to harness. These devices could be a springboard to something greater, possible of harnessing such power. We can discuss later once I have completed these prototypes, let's say, but just something to keep in mind.
Finn, whatever you need, I will get it for you. And he gives you a little wink, and he leaves.
Walking around, Arnor went to Sirocco's room. He was not there. Arnor is looking about, trying to see if he can find Sirocco, and he sees Sirocco come out of Finn's room. And he'll approach Sirocco. Sirocco, do you have a minute?
Arnor, I have nothing but minutes. What can I do for you?
Well, something that you mentioned earlier to Aethelward about how you are here for the money. I don't find that to be strange. But what I do find strange is why a Bastillero, a well-known person as yourself, is with the Ironwood Company and not at the House Castellan, protecting them.
You put me in a difficult spot, Arnor, because I do not wish to reveal all the secrets of House Castellan. But this I will say, it is not exactly chance that I am the one to end up here on Viridian. You see, House Castellan has enemies. I have been sent here in case we must move operations. It would be good to have a foothold in a place far, far away from Tela. Now, I do not know, perhaps is the same with House Train, that you have accrued some enemies. They could be powerful ones.
I highly doubt that. There is no House Thrain.
Oh, in Demlik they have no houses.
Thrain is a name that is given to those without one.
Oh, I see. Okay, and the crest. Okay. I understand now. Arnor, you should have told me sooner. I will help you with this. I will make sure that you know exactly where you come from. Your family. Without family, we are nothing. I find everything about the crest. I search high, I search low, I find everything for you. And if you want, I not even look at the results. I leave as a surprise for you, and you do with that what you will.
It would be appreciated, Sirocco. I also appreciate your honesty. Everyone's secrets have been getting on my nerves.
I understand. Perhaps more than you think. I myself do not like that I must keep some things from you, but surely you understand that the business of House Castellan is not public for all to see.
I'm not saying that people cannot have their secrets. It's when those secrets affect me, affect the company. The company is my life. They saved me as a child, and I am just trying to repay them the best I know how. And you were right when you said that we should get along better with one another. We can be a good group together. I've seen it. But with the way that people act on their own, without any plan ahead of them, that is where we fall short. That is why Kai has lost her leg and is back on Vernaros. And perhaps this is something that I can lean on you for. I may have been with the company the longest, but sometimes my words are overlooked. That is fine, as long as we decide on the course of action. I don't need to lead anybody, and people can think for themselves independently. But if we truly want to be the Wolves of Ironwood, then we need to be better.
I agree. I think there are bridges of trust that could be better built. So, Arnor, I will tell you exactly where I stand, and I will do my best to bring more cohesion to the group. As for myself, I did not lie when I told Aethelward I was here for money, that I am here to advance the desires of House Castellan, but I am not here to sabotage you or any of the others of this group, and I am not here to act in a way that would be to the group's detriment. But if that is to change, I will be honest with you. If ever there comes a time where it looks like the Wolves of Ironwood and House Castellan are not in agreement and our contract looks to be broken, I will do everything in my power to not leave you and the others high and dry. You have my loyalty and the loyalty of House Castellan. And I would not seek to do anything that would harm you or the Ironwood Company. For I understand loyalty, and I understand your loyalty to them. So, and he will extend his hand to Arnor. Is that agreeable to you?
Very much so. And Arnor will actually grasp onto your forearm instead of your hand.
Very good. Then from henceforth, we are well and true allies. And now, I go to find that turkey downstairs. I hear someone hiding turkey. Arnor, I bid you a good night.
Good night, Sirocco.
And Sirocco will head off down the hallway out of sight.
Once he's had sufficient time to kind of flesh his thoughts out after what he talked with Sirocco about in his little journal, Finn kind of closes that up, eyes the black sap that he put there, and he just tucks it into his side satchel, which is just hanging on the chair arm. Finn gets up and he's going to go try to find where Kel is, if she is anywhere easily locatable, just like her room or somewhere else.
After the day that everyone's kind of had and seeing what happened to Kai and knowing that Iris is once again angry with them and knowing that Aethelward is outside and he could turn on us at any moment and knowing that everyone kind of split off, I would like to assume that Kel would know that everyone's going to try and talk to each other tonight because so much stuff has happened. And so she's maybe expecting a conversation from anyone. It could be from anyone at this point. She's not really like in a room, but she's somewhere where she can look either out a window or sit on like a window ledge, and she's just like watching the night sky, just kind of bidding her time until it's time for her to rest. So I think you'd be able to find her pretty easily if you just walk around the upper floors and find her.
Okay, kind of, checking your room first and then just perusing through the towers. Coming to the window where Kai had actually positioned herself to shoot her crossbow or whatever it was very adeptly out, is Kel sitting there. And Finn will approach her. Kel, do you have some time? I presume you have much on your mind, no? The plot of this whole hunt for the Vipers continues to twist and turn in ways that at least has gotten Iris in a bad mood, which is not necessarily a loss in my mind, but it does complicate things and continues to show sides of the world and ourselves that are not expected. I came to fulfill my end of an agreement that we had, if you would like. You still have the journal, I presume, or whatever it was, a book of some kind.
Yes, the book of poems. And I'll pull it out from under my cloak or something and hand it to you if you want it, or I'll just hold it out.
As you're searching through your things for your book, Kel, you don't find it in your satchel.
The book of poems?
Yeah, it's not there.
As Kel is looking for the book, she kind of pauses for a moment, and Finn would see like kind of the slow blink of like, wait, what? And she'll kind of pat her sides a little bit and be like, the book is gone.
What?
Do you have it?
No, it's been in your possession from as long as I can remember.
Iris had it for a night, but she gave it back to me days ago.
Is it possible it got lost on the road somewhere? Have you been in possession of your belongings the entire time since you had it?
No, I would have taken it off when we went to Marika's.
That's scheming. Well, it also could have been thrown out the window as Sirocco chucked all of our belongings out the outside.
I suppose that's true. I don't think Aethelward could have gotten it from me, but I don't know why Marika would have taken it, or someone in her organization or collective might have taken it. But that's the only place I can think of that I could have lost it unless it somehow left my person some other time.
Did you see anything inside that could have been reason to steal it? I have not looked inside myself, but it appeared to be not a simple book.
There were names in the book, that were unfamiliar to me, but it seemed somewhat important. And when I showed it to Iris, she expressed interest in copying it herself and having a copy for herself to keep. And it all got wrapped up within the time with Korvac and with everything else that was happening afterwards. And I guess her priorities shifted and she gave me the book back the next morning. But I don't...
And you're sure it was the same book?
Honestly, now that I think about it, no, but I assumed it was. It looked the same on the outside. I didn't notice anything different with the cover, but I haven't opened it since then because we've been kind of caught up in some other things.
Perhaps we can search together then. Retrace our steps as necessary, but I don't think we're getting back into the city.
Well, not for a while anyway.
There's a look of visible disappointment on Finn's face, but he does say, I guess a deal is still a deal. If you wish me to uphold my end, I will choose to believe you that it is not secretly on some part of your person and you are withholding it from me. But anyways, about the Void. You and Aiden seem to have some history with the substance. I have promised you some tale of it, and to be honest, I could wander down any number of paths, but is there anything in particular through your research that either you still have questions about or that sparked an interest? Perhaps I could enlighten on.
Well, I noticed in my own studies and my own experiences with Void that it can change people in certain ways, as you very clearly well know, and as Brad very clearly knows as well. And I've always wondered if there was any way to stop the spread of it or to reverse the effects of it, of people who have been changed by the Void. I don't know if you would have ever seen that, but I haven't come across it myself.
No, not that I have seen personally. There are tales, however. Old sailors, myths, perhaps nothing more. Although I have my reasons to believe there is some fact to them. Of a source, a spring of void, where if one could only but harness it, all things could be possible. I admit, it does sound like something that is more akin to a children's fairy tale than reality, but then again, void is void. I believe this source to be somewhere in Viridian. I have not told many others this, but once our deal with the Vipers is concluded, I have the permission from the company to continue on here, do my own searching for this ultimate source. I admit I am skilled, but there are surely challenges and foes to await me beyond. Would you like to join me, Killis?
If you'll have me, I would, when this is all over. If we're still around by then.
That is the question. But very good. This pleases me, that you have agreed. Not to get any hopes too high on things that are unfounded, but the stories that have been told of this power, they are terrible, frightening, but great. And if only one can wield this power, the stories of those who came before the Godsfall event will pale in comparison.
That type of power, it's incomprehensible to me at this point in time, but over the course of our journeys together and even through the course of my own research, I've seen many great and powerful things. Things that I could never conceive of myself. I was never an imaginative sort, not until I started studying the Void a little bit more, and I started seeing what it was capable of and what the potentials of it were. And after seeing all that stuff happening with the Myrmidon and how they were using that type of technology that I had been working on 20 years ago to stabilize it, and seeing it now in effect here on Viridian, it fills me with a lot of dread. And I want to know what's going on, but I don't know that we'll have time for those particular answers right now. But I would rather know that that type of power is in the hands of someone that I trust, as opposed to someone that I don't know. So for the time being, I'd love to help you find this, if we can.
You saying this, like, keeping the power in the hands of someone you trust, as well as comparing it to the Myrmidon and things we'd seen, Finn's gaze gets, immediately very direct at Kel, and he just says, I would prefer that no one wielded this power. It is something that, as I said, is beyond comprehension, and if we can contain it, the only thing possible of ridding Void from the world is Void itself. And only then will wars of machinery and accidents that blow up half a nation finally be ended.
Then I guess we better find it.
Indeed. I will leave you to enjoy the rest of this evening, what little we can. Thank you, and I will keep my eye out for this book of yours, should it turn up. And Finn will give you a slight nod of his head and continue walking up.
And Kel will kind of sit on the window and ruminate over the conversation, but as she's thinking, her hand just kind of slides back into her pack, and she's still looking for the book, even though she knows it's not there, and she's deeply unsettled by the fact that it's now gone. And then she'll go to bed.
Arnor, after telling Sirocco that he was frustrated, everybody's secrets, now is going to turn his attention to one of the biggest secrets around how Bread came to know where Aethelward was. And he's going to go find Bread.
Yeah, I don't think Bread is too hard to find. I do think he's in a weird spot, like kind of outside of the normal circulation of where people should be in the fort. He's kind of clearly set himself aside, but is not unfindable and would be found, obviously looking at his arm, like doing an examination of it.
After searching for some time, Arnor does come across Bread. What are you doing there?
Research.
On your arm.
Aye.
To each their own. I did have a question for you, Bread.
Alright.
You mentioned before that you couldn't tell me then, but how did you know where Aethelward was?
Bread will, having anticipated that this was going to be a conversation at some point, stop what he's doing with the research and just sit back and look at Arnor. The only reason I couldn't tell you then was because there wasn't time to explain, and I don't doubt that this is going to be, I don't know, an upsetting revelation at the very least, or a longer conversation, and also potentially information that you wouldn't have wanted to trust.
Try me.
When I contracted the Hollowin, it nearly killed me. And when I recovered, if you want to call it that, I could hear and feel the thoughts of the dead. And that was strange, certainly, but it was not unuseful. And I figured that I might as well make use of that power. It's gotten stronger since coming to Viridian, more so than I could have ever really thought possible. But I asked the dead if they knew where Aethelward was, if they could lead me to him, and they did.
Speaking to the dead. That is a new one.
Aye, it's not something I've ever heard of before.
And this came about after your incident with the Hollowing?
It did. I can't think of anything else in my life that would have resulted in that.
And there was no deal with some creature to gain this power, to save your life from the Hollowing?
Bread chuckles. I think there's like a dark edge to it. To the degree that I think that it would be pretty clear that Bread does not think that it's possible to save his life, if that makes sense. No, I didn't make any deals for it, Arnor. I promise you that. I'd trade it all away if I could.
Well, regardless about how I feel about speaking to the dead, it was useful, but, Bread, if you say it's getting stronger, I would be careful. I don't know you all that well. We haven't really talked in a deeper manner than as companions. But if you start to lose yourself, I would back away.
Bread gives a firm nod back. No, I know you to be right on that front, Arnor, and I appreciate the reminder. And to be honest, if you see me slipping, I'd appreciate if you let me know.
Very good. Red, I know that I might not always be the most fun and enjoyable companion. Kai has certainly gotten a lot of flack from me.
Kai got flack from everybody.
I am going to be better. I want this group to succeed, and I want you to be able to achieve your goals, even if it's different than my own. I have been with the Ironwood Company all my life. It is what I do. But just because you're contracted with them doesn't mean that you don't have your own things going on. And I do wish to be there for anyone that needs my assistance.
I think Bread definitely appreciates this warmth. He's not been a recipient of warmth in some time. And will nod very sincerely. I think you're doing a fine job, Arnor. And I'll tell you straight, I want to find a cure for this plague. And that's all I want, but I will do anything to make that happen.
It's a worthy goal. Just don't kill yourself over it.
Right.
Alright, it's been a long couple of days. Why don't you get some rest? I know you have your research, but it'll do you good.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bread. And Arnor will leave.
Dealing in half-truths, baby.
As the next day dawns, the lot of you are woken. You break your fast, and you're led outside by Captain Areus, who shows you Aethelward and his, all assembled just outside the fort as the sun crests over the horizon. Exiting the gate, Aethelward greets the lot of you, says, "Good to see you made it. I was not wont to wait another minute. Are the provisions of our agreement clear moving forward?"
Yes, we are to assist Coco in whatever it is that she needs to do to retrieve this prisoner, and then we are free to do as we will.
Correct. And you will never see me again.
Gladly.
Wonderful. Then, stand just over there. And he points to a small spot a few feet away from him.
One moment. I still believe there is one part of our deal that you need to fulfill.
Tell you what I know of that. Is that right? And he points to your shield and its crest.
Yes.
I know one thing, Demlik, that you should paint it over. Now stand with the rest.
You know, Aethelward, I respected you growing up in the Ironwood Company. You were what I dreamed of becoming, but I don't know if I want that now.
I'd pray to whatever gods there still are that you didn't. Now stand.
And Arnor will go to the appointed spot.
The lot of you good luck in Aiden Silk. I pray you reach Coco in time. And do excuse her eccentricities. And then with a snap, you are surrounded by this energy field glowing bright blue. It then subsides, subdues to a more purplish hue. And then the fort, Aethelward and his men, and the surrounding landscape around you disappears as you are catapulted across Viridian.